Hello everyone, this is Lolly. This is kind of a fun and different upcycle repurpose project for you. One of my viewers a while back had sent me this leather notebook, and it is really tiny. So the whole thing measures about 4.5 by 3.5 closed. And I don't see any like name brand other than Classic Diary System mini size. Now you'll notice she gave me all these papers too. This is back when a letter cost 32 cents to mail, if that tells you anything. This says 1991, 1996, so there's all different 1998. I took the papers and I put all the dated papers here. And then here I put all the like journaling kind of papers. They're all mixed in. They're ledger papers. There's grid papers, all kinds of fun papers to use and make a little notebook. Now, they are rather on the flimsy side. I also noticed that there were some tab dividers. Let's see if we can use those, although they do have words on them. Maybe we can cover those up with something, not sure. They're kind of thin, so I did take a glue stick and glue two pieces together. It does make a sturdier sheet if you're wanting to do anything like drawing or something like that in there. So I measured these out and I came up with 2 5/8 by 4 1/8. And then I had to just use one of the papers in here to lay on these to punch holes to get it to line up, because I don't have any kind of hole punch that's going to match this here. So I just took some of the papers from the Let It Be collection and I put that together to make this. But before we actually finish playing on the inside, I want to do something for the cover. Now what I did ahead of time, I just took some mild dish soap and just kind of lightly scrubbed that, because I wanted to get off all and my hands are clean, I wanted to get off all the kind of oily stuff from my fingers. And then I have this, which is from the Let It Be collection from Graphic 45. It is part of the ephemera set, and that is going to get put right here. So I'm going to use Liquitex Matte Gel Medium and put that right on there. What we want to do is open it up like this. If I open it too far, it buckles this. If I shut it, then I've got these rings. So I want it basically like hanging like this right there on something. So I'm going to stack some books and things and get that how I want it. So I have this, which is just remnants of foam board, and I will put that in there just to kind of butt up against the rings, and then I will put that on several books stacked up on my table, and that gives me a nice surface away from the rings to put this on there. And that one was all dried out, so I'm going to use the Crafter's Workshop Matte Gel Medium. Much better. And I'm just going to give this a good coat across here. And it doesn't matter that I'm making this bigger than my image, because I'm going to go over it again to give it a good seal. So we're going to put this down. And then starting from the center, I'm going to go outward and just kind of rub that in there. Again, all my fingerprints don't matter. It's going to all be covered up. So I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm just getting the excess off around the edges right here. I'm going to hold this in place for just a few moments, and then I will remove my hand and let this really dry overnight. And then I will put 2 coats of the matte medium over it, the gel medium, and I'm going to let it dry in between. Another thing you can do is to put something like silicone matte over it and then rub it really well, or you can use something else like wax paper. Just put it over there, give it a real good rub to make sure it's really well covered. So that is dry. I did put 2 coats of that gel on there. Now it does dull the shine of the leather a little bit because it is the matte. And then I took a strip that I had from this border and I did the same thing here. And then I am going to use probably Fabri-Tac to put this ribbon across here, and maybe even a thin strip like the 1/8 inch wide black between those. And I also found in my stash this really pretty gingham, and I cut out a section that will perfectly fit this pocket right here. And I think what I'll do is I'll use the gel medium to attach that, because it's easier to spread. And that will fit perfectly right there. And then I may do maybe one accent here or something to kind of balance it out, but it's very pretty. Love the way it's coming together. So that is all done and dried, and I did what I said. I had put the paper and this ribbon on there using the matte gel medium, and then I used Fabri-Tac to adhere the black narrow ribbon and this ribbon, which I had gotten from Michael's years ago. And I did notice that when using the Fabri-Tac, man, it stuck immediately, probably because I had the matte medium under there, and I really couldn't even reposition the ribbon once I got it down. Then here I used a border strip. I used this punch, which is by EK Success, called Bubbles, and it's 54-40177. And this is the paper from the Graphic 45 collection that I'm using. And then I used this ribbon, which I had gotten from Target years ago. So that is as good as I want to get it, except when we're done, I'm going to glue something on the cover. So let's look at the papers. I showed you this earlier, that I had just cut these two papers up for my front and back. I like to have thicker paper in the front and back. I think I will eventually cover this up because it doesn't seem to match the theme that I'm working with. Okay. Now, I had showed you earlier that I had these tabbed papers like this, and here's what I did was I did washi on them. So if you use a wide washi, it's a lot easier, but this is, it's not as wide, so I'm having to do 2 strips on it. So what I'm doing is I'm just going right about there, flipping it over. I want to go completely around because the washi will stay better. And I'm going to do another strip down here. I didn't get that covered very well, so I think what I'll do is, there we go. I'll have to take the Ergo bone folder, really get that covered. And then what I'm going to do is just really push down and outline that tab so I can see it to cut it. And I'm also going to really outline the holes there so I can see to punch those. Okay, so I'm just going to take these tiny scissors, these sharp pointy scissors, and it's a lot easier to see where to cut if I have that outlined by indenting it. There we go. We can put that aside. And I'm not going to actually put words on those. I could use stickers if I want. So I love these. They are awesome. Put that there. You could put all sorts of just beautiful cardstocks in here, but I love the papers that came with this, and I just thought it'd be a great way to use that. Now, if you're not happy with having this here, I like the junk journal-y look to it. If you're not happy with that, you could cover that with your decorative papers. So look at that. I have plenty of room to grow in here, and I have these 2 pockets. So I have these tags that I have prepared ahead of time. Let's put that one here, and I also cut up one of the cards, the journaling cards from the collection. There we go. Put that here. That should work. It might be a little long. I'm not sure. We'll see. But that fits in there beautifully. Oh, plenty of room for more papers. I could make a tie to go around it. I'm just really happy with how this has turned out. But I also have these charms, these little bee charms that are in my shop. And since I'm not going to use it as a charm, I'm going to glue it on here. I'm going to take my needle nose pliers and the part here that's for cutting wire and just trim that off. Now there's a little bit of, you know, when you have the ring, I cut it off and there's still a little bit of that ring left that I can't get to because the wings are in the way, but it makes it look like antennas, so I'm really okay with that. So let's glue that down, and of course I'm going to use the power tack because I need something really permanent on something like this that is metal. And I'm gluing it down over the bee image right here on that card, on that ephemera. It is so cute. It is a little thick, but the bee embellishment, I don't think it's going to cause me too much grief when I'm in here writing. I think this is a cute project. Now I want to show you that I also have leftover, this was sent to me, but I also have this because I used to use day timers. I have this system that's left over that I can decorate, and I could punch holes here and make it like into a traveler's notebook. And I have this one as well. It's the taller size. This is the pocket day timer. I think this is called the Junior. So I have these two that I can do projects with. And also I have this, which is a Filofax with brand new in the box. I got this from a thrift store, and it has this big scratch right through there, as you can see it. Probably why it didn't sell. This is a 2000 diary. You can see it's still got all the papers are wrapped in here. But you know what? These rings fit the sidekick. What's this? Oh, cool. These rings here fit the sidekick planners from Elizabeth Craft Design. So I see some crafting ahead of me, and I have a zip pocket here, and I could just make this into another journal, and I think that would be awesome. And this scratch here can be easily covered up with some sort of decoration, and I'm excited. I'm loving this. I'm loving this project. I think it turned out so cute. Let me zoom in there. Isn't that adorable, that little bee right there? So thank you for watching. I hope that gives you some ideas for reusing and repurposing some of the little tiny planners that you might have on hand at home.